Okay. All right, so your drumline was working on flam taps.
Yeah, and some of us didn't know how to read 16th notes, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
It was mainly because they were on bass drums throughout the entire year, so they didn't...
Because they've never had a lesson. Because they never were taught how music works. Because as soon as you know how music works, you immediately know what a 16th note is.
Yeah.
You can't know how music works and not know what a 16th note is and how that works. So you either know how music works or you don't. So, I spent a lot of time this week making pairs because the ultimate sin is to separate two sticks. And so now a lot of them have Velcro stuff. And then I made a punishment stick where there's super nasty 60 grit sandpaper right there. So now if you choke up, now you have this abrasion. If you choke back, now you have an abrasion. Prevent people from scooting up, and not to mention the Velcro that's on there too, to keep the hand in that range. All right, show me. So they showed you flam accents too?
Yeah.
Show me those.
Isn't that the 16th?
Separate those elbows. Get those hands apart.
Wait, it's the 16th note one, right?
Well, it's a 3. Okay, those would be triple flam taps. Flam accents is just triplets with a flam. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, flam 2, 3, flam 2, 3. Those are Swiss triplets. So just think right, left, right, left, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, flam 2, 3. Do this. Flam 2, 3, 1. Mm-hmm. So that grace note is going to be the same hand that is next. So a right-handed flam is followed by a left hand. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and now just end on the flam. Okay. Now do it slow enough to where you really differentiate between the dynamics. Let's draw it out, shall we? Oh. You guys are spending the night down there? All right, toodaloo. Flam accents. Look like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Always draw the note heads first and then go up with the stems, just so it can be more consistent. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the beams after. And then flam, right, left, right, left, right, left. And then, of course, I'll put a little L and a little R to be those grace notes. Read it. Read the information. Don't mess it up. There you go. Read it. Just hit it. Now, what's the second beat? Second beat's a left or right. Yeah. No. Do triplets without the flams. Okay, now do that at speed at which you would do that with the flams. Okay, here's Swiss triplets. Let's just get Swiss triplets out of the way. You want to do Swiss triplets, so let's just do that. But we'll specify them as Swiss triplets, and then we'll differentiate from that. Swiss triplets are just right flam, right, left, right flam, right, left, right flam. So the right hand, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then the left hand is just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. And you can fly like the wind with those because you can just get the bounce. It's like a really fast double beat. Do 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 do. So, do that first and split them on the bars. Swiss triplets is just 1, 2, 3. Right, right, left. That's a Swiss triplet. Yeah. Do left hand lead. Yeah. Yeah. That's a Swiss triplet. Now, read that information and don't mess it up. Take it as slow as you need to go. There it is. Okay, now, slow that way down, and we're going to make the big notes massive and then tiny notes infinitesimal. Do a crazy exaggerated flam, like this tiniest grace note possible, followed by gargantuan. Just give me some crazy exaggerated flams. Okay, now, with flams like that, now do flam accents. Slow. But keep this down so it can be a small baby note. You're doing alternating Swiss triplets. Read it. What's the second beat? Left hand or right hand? Just do this. We'll just do the first two beats. So it's going to be right left, but that's a right flam left. And make it big for now. So as soon as this is done, doing what it needs to do, it just immediately goes up in preparation for the next beat. So watch this in slow motion and watch the left hand. Like it's just immediately going up because it's got a job to do in a second. Try just that. And just send it up exaggeratingly. Yeah, do it again. Yeah, think of this as there's like a little springboard here, but there's like a grenade underneath the spring. And so this momentum is not enough to send that up on its own. like a heavy stroke that has a nice rebound bounce. But think if there's like a little like igniting explosive right there, and just kicks it right up. Nah. Left flam. Uh-huh. And now differentiate even more. Big note, tiny baby flam, grace note. Okay. Now, back to right hand flam. And then follow that with right hand flam, left. Mm-hmm. We're going to add some complexity here. That hits the ground. Ground turns to lava and we all die. Okay. Now, with that in mind, read the information. There it is. Say this. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Alternating strokes.
Right, right, left, right, left.
Uh-huh.
Right, left, right, left, right, left.
Quarters. Quarters are easier. Dimes are a bit finicky, especially with your big burly hands. Yep, switch triplets again. Slow down, read the information.
It keeps feeling weird because normally I don't have something in between my fingers.
Yeah, well, deal with it. Mm-hmm. Okay, work on that on your own. You know what's up, and you know how to break it down for yourself, and you know what to do to be able to break it down. Like, oh, like we just broke it down, and we're not gonna waste any time like spending the hour working on it. That's for you to do, wearing a robe with a big dark hoodie, alone in a cave with sticks and a metronome, and just go monastic, like you're a monk at a monastery. The car is the best place. With a teenager without his own house, the car is a great isolation booth If you want to talk on the phone, in private, car. If you want to make a bunch of noise, car. Because nobody can hear the car. And, or even when you could have a freaking snare drum in there, which, you know, protect your hearing. By the way, I'm 43 and I just got a couple of hearing tests done. Apparently, I have the hearing of a 20-year-old. And I got 2 tests, and they both confirmed the same thing. Two different audiologists. Protect your ears. In fact, I had a little embarrassing moment where I was doing snare drum stuff on the field at Tuscadero High a long time ago, and I didn't have earplugs. I just had, tissue paper, and I balled it up, put a little spit on it, and then so it goes, sticks in there and creates a seal. But then it was too small, and then I ended up jamming it in there, and then my snare drummer buddy's dad, he had little tweezers from his Swiss Army knife, and he extricated it. So I was always a stickler for protecting my hearing. And I hate loud noises. I notice all of these are soft, and we're hitting these super low volume things. I was that little baby kid that would run screaming to the next room as soon as my mom fired up the vacuum cleaner. I hated that tyrannical sound. I couldn't bear it. So protect your hearing, protect your hearing, protect your hearing, because you don't want to be a human being that hears in your ear 24/7. Imagine if I was just screaming that into your ear all of the hours of your existence. That would suck. It's called tinnitus. Most people say tinnitus, but it's not an inflammatory thing, so it's not an itis thing. Tinnitus is the ringing in the ears thing. And I did a little internship once upon a time at an audiologist's office, and learned about hearing and learned about cochleas, and man, that thing is a miracle of science. And yeah, and these guitar players, these middle-aged men who were had guitar amps behind their head their whole life, just screaming, and they're losing their mind. Their mental health is declining because of this insanity in their ears. So anytime you hear a loud noise, plug your ears so that loud noise isn't loud again. You've been warned. Fair warning. And while we're at it, you can go to an audiologist and get custom, sculpted earplugs that create a hybrid where, if we just had silicone, really the best way to make choo 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 super loud noise go away is to get some swimming earplugs, silicone earplugs. You can go to CVS, you can go to any pharmacy, whatever, and just go to the sleeping gondola, I don't know, and find some silicone earplugs. I might have, no, they're not in the stick bag. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about?
I think.
Okay, well, just look it up. Silicone earplugs. It's just silicone. There's these wax things, and you just stick them in your ear, and they form to your ear. And then if your ear is super dry and doesn't have a bunch of crazy slippery wax coming out of it, and it's clean, then you can just wham, stick it in there. It just creates a suction. And they call them swimmer earplugs because it keeps out water. And if it keeps out water, it definitely keeps out air, which is what sound is, just air molecules bumping into each other, and so it's stopping that pushing, that momentum of air molecules bumping into each other, and stops it at that seal. So if you want the world to go away, if you have a jackhammer, it's 5 in the morning and you're in college somewhere and you're like, oh my God, it's silicon. That make the jackhammer go away completely. Or you can go to an audiologist's office and get a custom one. So the difference between a custom hearing plug, what am I trying to say? An earplug is the silicon will just make the world go away. It'll just turn off everything essentially. But what the custom hearing plugs will do is it'll just be as if we just turn down the volume equally on everything. So like, okay, if we had silicon earplugs and we had a bass drum right here, boom, 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 we would still experience that as being relatively loud because that low frequency is just like thumping against our whole body and we're experiencing it like that as opposed to just hitting our eardrum, just like having an obvious effect on the eardrum. But if we have like little Tinkerbell fairy wings flapping, like a little hummingbird comes in, you're not going to hear that bird at all. But with the custom earplugs, you could hear the bass drum and you could hear, the little wings flapping. Just everything is just turned down uniformly. So you can still hear normally. You can still hear everything normally, but just everything with the volume down. Now you know. Protect your hearing. That's my point. Protect your hearing.
There we go.
Okay. Swiss triplets, flam accents, and then flam. Okay, show me flam taps again. So it's just doubles. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, but there's a flam in the middle. Yeah, those are flam taps. Oh, and then flam accents needs to be written with, of course, accents. Accents, accents. And you could add accents to the Swiss triplets. I mean, those first two rights are just going to be loud. Or you can do the whole thing at equal dynamics in both hands. And then you were doing reverse Swiss triplets, which are awkward. That was just obnoxious. All right. I'll draw out the flam taps just so you can like look at this and be like, oh yeah. And then flam taps. Flam taparoos. Flam taps is just 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, left, and then little flam, little grace notes. The little taparoo right before is called a grace note. So work on those rudiments. Those are some flam accents. That's my favorite thing. I'll do flam accents all day long. And then, if you want to get fancy, then you can add cheeses to it. Okay, so regular flam accents. Nope. Stick got away from me. I'm just adding a, yeah, I'm just adding a double to it. Or you could do this too. Bop, 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 bop. You could do the cheeses, those are called cheeses. You can cheese lots of things. Although you can't cheese flam taps because the next one is a right. So we can cheese something if we're alternating because, okay. So the next one is a left, so right, left. But since the flam accents are right, right, left, left, then we don't have an opportunity to do a cheese there. I mean, we could, but that's just, no one would do that. So basically, at the end of the day, if a drummer can keep the rights and lefts square, if they can keep the louds and the softs square, and making those really different, and then of course, and then also being able to hit different things, then we're in business. Keeping the pattern straight and even, keeping the dynamics exaggerated, then we're making music. Then we have an opportunity. Because if I just did this, okay. So the macro rhythm that we're hearing is do 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 do. Because that's what's happening with my accents. The macro rhythm is usually what's happening with the accented notes. But if I play that with no accents, now it just sounds like ba 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 ba, and then it's got no shape. It just lost all of its dimension. Think like a sculptor. Think like a Michelangelo. Think like Michelangelo sculpting. What other rudiments are in the brain, or at least you think that are in the brain, or that you've heard, that you've been curious about? Any others pop into mind?
I'm not sure if it's like an actual rudiment, but 2-3 clave.
That's just a rhythm.
Okay.
Okay, we could do that. Try that. Not as quickly as I did it. Get rid of this. Keep your hands apart. Don't be a goofball.
I've mainly been doing it like on drum set though. Like having.
Oh, okay. Okay, now instead of 16th, do 8th notes. Okay, those wouldn't be 8th notes, those would be quarters. Quarter, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then the and of 2, and then 4. Read it. Yes. Slow down. Read it. Almost. Yes. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, now left hand up there and do the rhythm with your right hand. Yes, good. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's a 2-3 clave. You could also reverse it.
3-2 clave.
Yes, exactly. In fact, that's one I like better. I like entering into that phrase with the 3, and then because the 1, 2, 3, the 3 is the pulsed note. Anytime there's 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, that's a catchy rhythm, and the listener likes it as well as the player likes it because it's catchy for the listener. Okay. Create a little pile for you. All right. So, but all of that is for nothing if your hands don't work. So, technique. What a lot of drum instructors will do is they'll just get the kid playing immediately, like getting on the drum set and just do chat. Teaching the kid beats right away because that's fun and entertaining, and there is a bit of wisdom to that. Like if I have like a 6-year-old, I'm not going to teach the 6-year-old technique on the first day. I'm going to get that kid right on the drum set and get him going do gag do gag. That's what I'm going to do because that's fun and entertaining, and then that gets buy-in. That lets him know, like, oh, I can do drumming. Drumming is cool. You already know drumming is cool, and you can already do basic beats. So now we're at a point where, okay, well, let's learn let's get these sticks moving in the hand for real, so that you can have an opportunity to do the flam accents and the flam taps and all the flammy flams for real. Feel those sticks. I love those sticks. Those are like $40 sticks. They're made out of they're concert snare drum sticks, but they're made out of persimmon wood, persimmon trees, and oak. You play with oak sticks. Oak sticks are heavy like that, like a dark wood, but the oak sticks feel brittle. Those feel not as brittle.
Yeah.
Oh my God, space. There you go. Well, that space too. Space in the between the thumb. Have I told you why yet? Like why? Like why not this? Because we want control around 360 of it. So now, if I look down the barrel of my stick, if I do this and I have that space open, now I don't have control on the sides. This is a big unwieldy stick. And so we should be able to play with a technique where we could hold any size of stick. And so we want, if it's not about the space, it's about the curving, it's the curling of the index finger around the stick. Because the thumb is touching the base of the index, and then we want the thumb to also make contact, if we have long enough fingers, to touch around. So now we have 360 control over it. But if we have that space open, that's an indication that the finger is not fully wrapped around. That's why.
Yeah.
Did I explain that yet? Is that the first time you've heard me say that?
Yeah. Also, another thing that I've noticed is with my drumline in particular, is whenever one of them has like a larger space, they just go and just somehow.
Yeah, because there's no structure to what they're doing. There's no.
But they've gotten better at it, though.
Yeah, well, not as bad.
Yeah.
They need to come get a lesson with me. That's what needs to happen. The whole drum line. You guys know how amazing you would be if you all took lessons. If not even just with me, but just all musicians should take lessons. If you're just some kid in band who just showed up and is like kind of half figuring out everything through osmosis and see monkey do monkey, and without any direct instruction, like now you know why to get rid of that space because the finger wraps around. So these kids are just walking around with their heads cut off and not knowing the why. They don't even know what they don't even know. They don't even know what questions to even ask. So there are those who are self-taught and there are those who are not.
Yeah.
And there is an ocean of difference.
I'm pretty sure there's a saying where an idiot is less of an idiot if they know that they're an idiot.
Yes. But they're not quite an idiot if they know that.
Exactly. Like, you can be stupid but not an idiot, but you can be an idiot but not be stupid.
Well, tomato, tomato. Yeah, okay. And what the key of all of that is self-awareness. Yeah. If the idiot knows he's a fool, and the classic Shakespearean terminology for this is the fool, like the fool and the king, two opposites of a spectrum. Although there's been plenty of foolish kings in the world. The fool who knows he's a fool has self-awareness. So therefore, he's not as foolish anymore because definitively what makes someone a fool is a void of self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ultimate awareness. Like, oh, there's a saber-toothed tiger over there. I'm aware of that thing over there. But then I also I'm self-aware that, oh, I'm over here just 20 feet away and there's nothing between the saber-toothed tiger and me, so I better run. Or actually don't run because you'll just be immediately chased down. You have a better chance of living if you just like play dead. Or actually with a big cat to like get threatening with it.
Yeah, the bigger you are, like if you see a big cat, you get bigger than said big cat. Because they'll see you and be like, they look stupid, I'm not going to try and fight them because now they're waving their arms around.
Well, they're looking like a potential threat.
Yeah.
A big cat doesn't want anything. The big cat wants nothing to do with anything that it thinks might you know, throw a left jab and get him in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, push pull. This. Okay, but now here's what's happening. I'll mock you. You're stopping, you're doing this and then going up. This. Let that thing swing back and slap into your arm. Yes. Now, curl your middle finger around and then use that as your trigger. And now just dribble that thing. Okay, do this. I'll tell you, I'll have you do what not to do. I don't want your fingers, well, okay, for now, I want your fingers to leave the stick as you do that. Like, I can't even do it wrong. Like, it's not this. See what I'm doing? My fingers are leaving the stick. I am going up and down. I'm hitting that thing. But the fingers stay with the stick the whole time. Do this. Pull back on the other hand and just resist. And like, so there's pressure down here. So that means that this stick doesn't have an opportunity now to leave the fingers. So now, have this be your pressure. And and just look at your own hand as you do it. Is it leaving the stick or not? Yeah. Choke back a bit. Oh, well, that's a lot. Okay, now put it here. Now pinky dribbles. And there's no wrist in this. This is do this with the other stick. Just like put your wrist in a sling or in a, I don't know, like, yeah, there you go, setting the bone. No wrist. See how my wrist is just dead still? There's no articulation in the wrist at all. This is just me pulling in my pinky. But I gotta throw it down fast enough for it to want to bounce back up on its own. Yeah, start big. Start big. Okay, do this once and have it hit your arm. All the way back. Throw it down fast enough and let that, yeah. I would rather the stick fly out of your hand than not get back all the way. Yes. Now keep that up. Dribble that. Yeah. Your wrist is going to wiggle a little bit, but the primary articulation is the pinky closing, opening and closing.
Can't wait to drink tea with such strong pinkies.
Teach the drumline tomorrow pinky dribbles.
Okay.
Teach them pinky dribbles, and then, and you could also, okay, there's two ways to do this. We could do pinky and ring dribbles, or we could just do ring dribbles. It's like just pinky dribbles, just ring dribbles, where the hand is splayed out. And then just middle fingers with the hand is splayed out. And then and then you can do then you group them together. Pinky, ring plus pinky, middle ring pinky, or that. That's it. That's interesting. That's just obnoxious. Okay, that defeats the purpose because now we have something in the way of this being. Now, okay, do this, but now close your hand. It's not gonna happen. Close your hand all the way. It's not gonna happen. With your ring finger in the way, yeah, not gonna happen. So that defeats the purpose. But that's an interesting thought. Basically, you should be able to dribble a stick in whatever form. Dribble it here. Stick dribbling. Drummers are stick dribblers. If you're someone who holds sticks and you can't dribble that stick, you ain't a drummer. Okay. How about, okay, here. Dribble the stick there. That's kind of just this, but further out. Okay. Dribble the stick. Okay, pinch it at the fulcrum, and then just push this end down. Oops. Okay, and we could do the front of the stick down, and then we have a spectrum. Okay, try to just smack the tip of it. Yeah, okay, this is true dribbling. This is like basketball dribbling. Okay, now, instead of the front of the stick, sending it down, send the back of the stick up. Which is more analogous to the real drummer's grip because the front of the stick isn't going down, the back of the stick is going up. Therefore, the front of the stick goes down. So, if we just pinched at the fulcrum, we could simulate this. Oh, this is kind of like when two guitar players have one guitar and one guy strums and the other guy does the fretting. And so guy number one holding the stick, guy number two activating the stick. I've never thought to do this. This is good. If you can't get this down, then it ain't happening with one hand. Get that thing to truly bounce. Huh. All right, try that. So we're just replacing this with this. And now, okay, grab it as if you were going to play, but now let go and replace that fulcrum, but then keep the fingers here. Yeah.
That was weird.
I have never in my life done that.
I've done this last year in woodshop because I was bored with a nail. And I wanted to see if I could do this.
Good. I'm glad you had the thought. Natural drummers have such thoughts. What if I... Oh. Separating sticks. Okay. now?
Apparently it's 5:30 already.
Is she out there?
Well, it looks like I'm getting 10,000 steps in.
Well, I wouldn't be opposed to it. The stronger you get, the better.
Yeah.
Is she out there? Did she just text you? Oh, she is out there. I'm looking at the wrong window.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, is that her?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have a car like that. Go home. Teach that to, who are you going to teach that stuff to? Les. Now, you better know what you're talking about if you're going to be, you put yourself in the teacher position. So by going off and teaching it, or having the plan to go off and teach it, that means that you better know what you're talking about, which then incentivizes you to actually learn it and get it down. And teach her this. Teach the whole drum line this, from the front of the stick, from the back of the stick. Teach them that. Teach them pinky dribbles, ring finger dribbles, which then can turn into, we don't, if we're not doing diddles and bounces and buzz rolls, we can just do this always. We don't even need these two fingers. Well, I'm diddling them. In fact, try that really quick. Last thing, just grab it with the index or the ring at the fulcrum and just double. Yeah, we should be able to bounce, dribble. We should be able to do all the things at whatever position in the hands. We should be able to do that, which means that we have a good nature of how the stick bounces and what it wants to do. Because your job is to let the stick do what it wants to do. Your job is to guide the stick. There's a symbiosis. The stick does all the bouncing, you do all the activating. All right.
Oh yeah, did we do a grip thing?
Oh, that's right, that's right. Are they? Here they are. Good. I'm glad you remembered. I got a new student. Her name is Penelope.
Oh, nice.
So we have 4 of these now. All right. Right hand, more than 115. Just crush that like you're trying to make a diamond.
112.
Okay, do the left hand, then come back to the right hand. And exhale on the final crush.
That was horrible. I did not do that.
You're trying to beat 105. Although your record is 127. So you've had a long, you've had a steep decline post-COVID.
Yeah.
So let this be scientific, data-driven proof that lying in bed will put you in an early grave. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. You know that cliche.
It went down.
Okay. Well, the data is what it is. What's the best?
103.
For the left hand?
Right.
Oh, for the right hand?
Yeah, I know, which is surprising.
Do it again for real. Put all your mind into it. Keep your arms straight as you do it. And think, slow crush, and just think about just, and exhale. Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I think my hand's getting tired.
All right. What was it this time? 11, 24.
I got to 120 or 112.
With the right hand?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not too far of a decline. 115 was last week. And then the left hand. Exhale.
116.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know how.
Well, that's a hell of a that's a lot better than last week with the left hand.
Out of curiosity, what happens if I do it like this?
Yeah, okay, good. Try different positions.
116.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe you. All right. All right, we'll just call it, okay, try that position with your left hand. Maybe there is more torque.
Yeah, 107, but that's also because my hand is tired.
Sure. All right.
Huh, we learned something else. Nice.
All right. I'm going to try it right now. My first personal best is 132. Although, okay. Let's try it in this position. $122. Huh, maybe this is better. All right.
Sure, good to know.